It's been a long time since I've worn these glasses. Whoa, it's like been a few weeks since I've done a sit-down video. So you would think that, you know, being a YouTuber for a long time, I would remember what I was going to talk about. I just sat down, pushed record, I'm like, Hey everybody, it's Abby, welcome back to the channel, welcome if you're new. So today I'm going to be talking about my 1 month, basically how running a small business full-time is going. So if you haven't seen my other videos, I'm also doing vlogs about just basically like what I'm doing day-to-day kind of stuff with the small business. And I am the owner of Cruelty-Free Stitchery, which makes, as you can see behind me, like cloth wipes, unpaper towels, or cloth wipes, unpaper towels, and then up here is like some cotton rounds that you can take off makeup with, and a few other things. And then actually recently we've begun producing protective equipment. I'm making cloth masks because I've got like a bajillion emails about them. So about a month ago, a month plus a few weeks, I put in my notice at my day job. I worked for a craft store full time, which, you know, obviously it kind of helped my business a little bit because I got a discount, but so I put in my notice there because the schedule wasn't working out for me to be able to, you know, run a business, because we didn't have a set schedule every week. So I wasn't like 9 to 5 every day or 10 to 6 every day. It was like 9 to 4 one day, 1 to 8 the next day. It was just all over the place. I did not have a good rhythm or a schedule or anything. And I was kind of just staying up late all the time trying to get stuff done, and it just was not working out. So my fiance is enlisted in the military. He was actually the last group that was able to go into basic training because they've stopped that now because of the virus. So this is going to be really interesting to hear from him, like what's happening there. Once he's out, then we're going to be getting married, going to wherever the heck he gets assigned to. Could be in the States, could be somewhere else. We have no clue. But when I move, I wanted to be able to do this business from wherever we're at, so I needed to build up a client base, so that way when we actually have bills and, you know, have to pay, so Army pays for the housing, but, you know, like we have utilities and internet and, you know, whatever else is car payment. So I wanted to be able to do this full time and have enough business going before I move, so that way, you know, it's pretty seamless once I get there. So I put in my notice, and then so my last day was on a Friday, and then that Monday, the following Monday, is when everyone started, like basically people that could work from home were starting to work from home, and some businesses, restaurants, like later that week were starting to shut down, and it was just kind of crazy. Like everybody was on unemployment. Now it's been crazy. If you're even like remotely paying attention to the news, it's just all over the place. But so I started this like coincidentally at the same time that so many other people were losing their jobs and getting laid off or having to work from home. I'm trying to like help make content that's going to help other people, but I don't know how much I can contribute because I'm not doing it for the same reason as everyone else. So I did a video a couple weeks ago talking about how I'm planning to kind of keep myself from going crazy and, you know, keep up with this schedule, because before, when I was working another job on top of this, I basically did not have a life. Like there was no work-life balance because there was no life. So I would just go to work. If I worked like in the morning, I would wake up, go to work, come home, and then like maybe eat something, and then go straight into working on Cruelty-Free Stitchery. And I would basically just do that. Like I didn't have any free time. People would be like, what do you do for your free time? I'm like, what free time? I have no idea. So I was afraid that I was going to carry that over after I quit my day job. And honestly, it's kind of difficult to, especially now, I'm not a morning person, I'm more of a night person, but there's a fine line for me between being a night person and getting stuff done at night and staying up too late and not really getting any quality work done because I'm not able to focus. So that's kind of where I'm at. Like I'm kind of more productive during the day, but also I don't want to wake up early, and like waking up at 12 or 1 is not going to help because I only have a few hours to get stuff done. Whereas if I can wake up at like at least 9 or 10, then I can work. You know, usually I'll get up and do like like social media and, you know, answering messages, checking Facebook, Instagram, scheduling posts for Instagram, and then I'll go into like, if I get orders that I need to make, I'll make the stuff and then ship it out, because I have a 1-day shipping period on my Etsy right now. And then getting to the post office before their last collection. So, and then after that, I'll keep making stuff. Or like before I started making the masks, I would either like do stuff for YouTube, or make up inventory like this stuff I've got sitting around. That way it's ready when somebody orders. And also I have some craft shows coming up, hopefully. There have been a couple days where I was good and I was able to stop working at like maybe 8 or 9, and then I will go into my bedroom and either like crochet or something, which I don't crochet much. I used to like sell stuff that I crochet, and I can't anymore because I was not blessed with good joints, so I'm afraid that my hands are gonna not work for a while, and they already get really stiff after I crochet for too long, so I try to avoid that. But then I'll do that and then like watch Netflix or something, and just kind of relax from the day instead of doing like being on all the time. And then I try to not look at my phone while I do that. I talked about this advice in that last video, but I was like, turn off your notifications during the time that you're supposed to be sleeping. I still need to do that, because I'll wake up, like, if I wake up in the middle of the night, which is kind of rare, I'll look at my phone to see what time it is, and then I'll notice that I have a bunch of notifications, like if I get a sale, and then now that's all I can think about, and then I can't go back to sleep. So I need to just not, either not look at my phone or not, I don't know, I'll have to figure out how to turn off the notifications, but I'm sure there's a way, like a do not disturb thing. So anyways, how the time has gone. So the first week I really pushed hard, like stayed up really late and got my Shopify website open. That's quilterwithstitcher.com instead of my Etsy, which I'm still using both for now. I think I've actually had a lot of business pick up on Etsy, which is surprisingly enough. As soon as I open another website, I get more traffic on the old one. So I finally got that set up, and there's a lot of stuff on there. Most of the stuff that I have is on there, but some I'm probably not going to list. It's more of like a professional kind of site, I think, than the Etsy stuff is kind of just a conglomeration of everything. There's a lot of stuff that I do need to update on Etsy, and I've updated my product listing photos to make sure they look better than they used to, because they were like the lighting wasn't consistent, and they were on a dark background, and it didn't look as good as it did like when I took the new ones on a light background with good consistent lighting. So that was pretty important, I think, to me. And there are a few listings that I still haven't done that with, but actually the one listing that I have that is done far better than the other ones is still on the crappy old picture, and it is doing well, so I'm not going to change it. And then after that, I started making a bunch of stuff. Like these cotton towels didn't exist before about a couple weeks ago. So those are like paper towel basically size, like most people call them unpaper towels, but I call them cotton towels just so they're something, different name, but basically the same thing. And then about, I'm gonna say a little over a week after I started, cloth wipes took off. So I mean, not like tremendously. I wasn't getting like 10 orders a day or anything, but I was getting quite a few, more than usual. And just because people were like the whole toilet paper thing, and people weren't able to buy baby wipes because people who couldn't find toilet paper were buying baby wipes for themselves, and people with babies couldn't find baby wipes, so that was a whole mess. And then I sold a ton of wipes. So like the one listing I was talking about is solid color cloth wipes. So most people use for baby wipes. You can use them for a bunch of other stuff. Like before I had the unpaper towels, I used those for like napkins and that kind of thing. So kind of keeping up with those seasonal or like trending items, even though it's not really a trendy item, it's more like a utilitarian thing, but things that are selling well in the moment, I've been trying to keep up with those. So like I've sold a couple scrunchies, but not really, so I'm not really focusing on those because people aren't really buying like accessory kind of things, and maybe they are, but it's not really a priority for a lot of people. So I've been trying to keep up with the useful items, and that's one thing that I am happy that I am doing, because I'm not the kind of person to like, but I used to, okay, but now I'm like, I don't really buy jewelry or stuff that's not useful. So I try to, incorporate that into my business, and also things that I list on there have to be useful, like eco-friendly, and then they also have to, I have to be able to make them with little to zero fabric waste. So that's the only way that I was able to do the scrunchies, because I can make them with zero fabric waste. And after all of that started happening, the cloth wipes kind of slowed down, so I was keeping an eye on the Etsy search results, which I think it's tricky. It's like it's a fine line between being obsessive about it and being, like aware of what's going on. So I was able to prepare for an influx of orders of those because I was watching the search results on Etsy. So I just typed in cloth wipes, and then I noticed that I kind of saw, I kept getting a few orders, and I was like, oh, I want to see what page these are on, because I'm getting more orders than usual. And they were on the second or third page, and then I checked back a day later, and they were on the first page of the search. So then I started getting a bunch of orders. But I noticed a pattern was that there are at least 3, maybe 4 that I know of, other shops that sell cloth wipes that are, I want to say, bigger than mine, but they have more sales and been on Etsy for a longer time. And they were getting so many, because I noticed that some of their listings had disappeared. I was like, that's weird. So I went to their Etsy page, and they had said that they were having to go offline or put their shop on vacation mode to catch up with orders. So that's why I wasn't seeing theirs. And then once their listings were gone, mine was boosted up to the first page. So I kind of kept an eye, every day. I would notice a trend, every day that their shop would be offline, mine would be on the first page. And then the next day, if they were back up, then mine would be on at least lower down on the first page, if not the second or third. So right now they're probably on the third or fourth page. I'm not getting that many hits on them, but they're still they're by far the most viewed product on my store right now. So that one listing with the solid colors. Then something else that I noticed from the other shops is, I've heard this advice from other people, other Etsy sellers, or those Pinterest blog post things, people talking about how to get noticed on Etsy, is that if you have multiple colors of an item, it has to be in separate listings. And before I was kind of that doesn't make sense, because people want to see all the different color options right in one place. But if you have if you have 10 different colors of cloth wipes, one shop was doing this, and it seemed working for them, but they had each color as a different listing, and then you can plainly see each one on the in the picture. And then when you click on the first page, you could see this one shop had so many different colors. You could tell that it was that shop because the pictures look similar, and it makes them look more professional, I guess, that they have more than one. So I'm considering doing that once this settles down with these face masks, I'll talk about in a minute. So that kind of slowed down. Then I was like, okay, what's next? So I took some time and I cut out a ton of fabric, all the pieces that I needed to make a bunch of everything. And I got some of it sewn up, some of it's still sitting there, that way I'll have it cut out. That way, if I get an order, then I can just do it quickly. And then now, I kept getting messages for people to make cloth masks, or from people asking me to make cloth masks, and I was like, I was gonna just donate them to a local hospital because they're taking donations. Basically, the hospitals are using them for for patients and that aren't really at risk for the virus, but because so they can take the good stuff to use for people who might have the virus, because that way the nurses and everybody doesn't catch it. So, but then the CDC announced that they were going to there was talk that people were going to have to wear cloth masks just for everyday people, and I've got a few requests for that then, so I went ahead and made them some. And then now it's CDC is recommending it for everybody. It's all over the news. So I was able to actually just yesterday get some made up to be able to sell on my website. So those are, if you're watching this and you do need a mask, go to crochetforcitra.com. But basically even with all that stuff, bottom line is I am very happy that I made the decision I was kind of getting worried like that first week. I was like, oh my gosh, everybody lost their jobs. Nobody's going to be buying anything. So that was kind of a fear on a lot of small business owners' minds. And I was thankful to be a part of a virtual craft show. I didn't make like a ton of sales or anything like I would at an in-person craft show, but it got my business name out there, and I did make a few sales the next day, so I'm not 100% sure if those were connected, but then I got people like sign up for my email list, which I do need to work on, because that's like a really big thing is like email marketing, so I need to get on that. But I am very thankful that I was able to do this, and at the perfect time, because I know the people that worked, or my old co-workers, went through a lot of mess when stuff started shutting down, and they were, obviously working with the public and at risk of contracting the virus. So I'm very thankful that the timing when everything worked out, and I am able to help at least a little bit. And I got actually a lot more orders than I expected. Because I thought people were not going to be buying anything, so I was like, oh shoot, what am I going to do? But it all worked out, and I'm, being fairly successful. I'm actually, for the year, because before I quit, I bought a ton of new flannel and everything, and that's what I make everything out of, and like, I would say it was like $700 worth total of flannel fabric that I bought, and a few other like supply things that I bought earlier in the year. And I am like, right now at this moment, like when I'm filming this, I am about $100 away from breaking even, which is fantastic. Like, a lot of small businesses don't break even, so I'm very happy about that. And yeah, so far so good. The month in, I mean, it's not going how I wanted it to, certainly not, but and then again, I am also, when like later in the spring, around May, I'm going to be doing craft shows, and I'll be set up at a farmer's market, which I do have like produce bags, so I think those would do well. They don't really do that well on Etsy because people are like, what do I need this for? But I feel like if you're at a farmer's market and you see produce bags, it's a good fit there. So that's one thing of like owning a business too that I'm still trying to figure out, is like knowing your audience, and like who you're, or knowing your, not really your audience, to say that as a YouTuber, but like knowing your clientele, what they want, and each place that they're going to buy stuff. So that's what all I've got for today. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about how I'm doing things, or how how it's going. I will answer those in a future video, and also don't forget to check out my vlogs, where I basically take you through like day-to-day kind of stuff, what I'm doing. And let me know if you have any suggestions also about what you want to see in the vlog. And most of it's just kind of me talking about what I'm doing, but I try to do some like time-lapse kind of stuff if I'm making things. And anyway, just let me know, and give this video a thumbs up if that was helpful or interesting, and subscribe if you miss any other videos, because 75% of you are not subscribed to the channel, and if you're watching the videos all the time, then why don't subscribe, So anyways, I will see you in the next video. Bye.